Am I wrong for not attending my daughter's gender reveal for her lizard? This is literally really stupid, but she's really upset about it. So my 48 daughter, 23, has a blue tongue skink who she heavily adores. She jokingly refers to it as her daughter. I've found it weird, but she says it's because it's the closest thing she'd have to a child and she feels a strong emotional bond similar to a child. She has decided to remain child-free for multiple reasons, and I have been very supportive of this decision. Well, she recently took her skink to the vet for a checkup and she was excited to find out her skink's gender. Afterwards, I got a text asking if I'd come to her gender reveal party she was having. She explained it was a small get-together with cake and food for her friends she hasn't seen in a while, with the gender reveal being mostly a joke, and a way to make fun of real gender reveals. Well, I didn't come. I didn't see a point. It's just a lizard and I'm a busy person. She later called me and expressed she was kind of sad I didn't come because it'd been a while since I've seen her, but she understood I was busy. I told her she couldn't actually expect me to come to a gender reveal for a lizard. She said that it wasn't a real gender reveal, that it was more of a joke and it was really just a small gathering to catch up with everyone. I told her if that was the case, she should have just called it a gathering because I'm not coming to a gender reveal unless it's for a real granddaughter. She got quiet for a minute and then turned my words around, claiming I wasn't supportive of her decision to be child-free. I told her she can't possibly expect me to treat a lizard as a granddaughter, and she said she didn't expect me to, but it was clear I didn't respect her bond with her lizard and her decision, and she just wanted to see me, and my reason for coming was hurtful. I told her she was being ridiculous over a lizard. She claimed it wasn't over the lizard and it was a gathering and not even centered around the lizard, but I stick by what I said. It's ridiculous to have a gender reveal for a lizard. She hung up and I got a message from her best friend about how I'm an asshole for treating her that way, but I don't think I'm the asshole for not wanting to go to a party for a lizard.
Storytime about the time I pulled a deaf woman over for speeding and asked to see her vagina. This happened a few years ago when I was a young police officer in the college town in the South. To set this up, our department had been teaching us American Sign Language to help officers serve the public. I was all about learning sign language and picked some up pretty quickly. Or so I thought. Well, one night in the summer, I'm on traffic enforcement looking for drunk drivers, and about 1 in the morning, I stop a car for speeding. As I approached the car, a young and very pretty co-ed was driving. I start talking to her, but she indicates that she's deaf. Now, I still had an ASL for police officers class from a week ago fresh in my mind, and I think to myself, great, I get to use a new talent in the field. I indicate that I can sign and she smiles. So far, so good. Now, I need to add that I was nervous since this was the first time I had used this on the street and she was very pretty. I then signed that I needed to see her driver's license. A look of terror crossed her face and my cop radar went off. I was thinking, what have I stumbled upon? I had dealt with people who didn't have a license, were dangerous, were drunk, or had warrants. I again signed that I'm a police officer and I need to see her driver's license now and put my cop face on. I also remember that to a deaf person, the look on your face is equivalent to your tone of voice, and apparently I was near screaming with my look. Now, to add to this, it's 1 in the morning, it's very dark on the side of the street, and I'm 6'2" and 230 pounds, and she's about 5'2", maybe 100 pounds. This poor girl was freaked out. I finally realized that I haven't stopped a serial killer and simply ask, well, why? To which she looks down at her crotch and shakes her head violently no. Well, my little pea brain begins to gather information in, and I realize that I had been lazy in signing the sign for driver's license and instead had been signing, I am a police officer, show me your vagina. I still cringe at that, and I must have lit up the road with 1.1 gigawatts of red face, and the look of embarrassment and horror caught her off guard. Well, she was on guard 100% at that point, and she realized that I wasn't a rouge police officer using my authority to sexually assault her on a dark street, but just a cop that sucked at ASL. Well, she started laughing at me, and it had to be the relief she felt mixed with the humor of what I did. It took her several minutes to compose herself, and I just stood there looking sheepish. I earned every second of her laughing. I just kept apologizing over and over. I'm glad I got that one right at least. Needless to say, she did not get a ticket, but a story about this well-meaning but dumb police officer that severely messed up a traffic stop.
Is it okay that my boyfriend is trying to convince me to let him do the dirty with my cousin? My boyfriend used to be my sneaky link before we made it official. At the beginning, neither of us wanted a relationship, but the more we kept hooking up, the more we wanted to be with each other. So naturally, we hung out all the time, and he asked me to be his girlfriend. And of course, I really wanted him to ask me, but I would never bring it up myself. So when he finally did, I said yes. But here's the thing. My boyfriend asked me if we could have an open relationship when we started. At first, I said no, but then I thought about it some more. If he wants to see other girls and cheat on me, he will. And because of the way we started, I knew what he was like. So I thought to myself, it's probably better to just have an open relationship than to be wondering if he's cheating on me. So after a few weeks of me asking him, I said yes. But I laid down some rules. If he was gonna hook up with somebody else, he needed to tell me. He kept telling me that it was better to just not talk about it, but I told him I wanted to know the truth. A few months into the relationship, everything was fine. According to him, he was not hooking up with anybody. And I know that I wasn't either, even though the option was there if we both wanted to. This is around the time that my cousin came home to visit from college. Growing up, everyone thought that her and I were identical twins. We really do look so much alike. We both have the same exact body type, really similar features. We both have long black hair, and we even dress the same. So it's natural that people thought we were sisters. I told my cousin about my boyfriend and she wanted to meet him. So I had a dinner at my place. As soon as my boyfriend saw her, he basically started drooling. It made me so angry, but I had to keep my cool. Throughout the dinner, my boyfriend kept complimenting her. He talked about how much her and I looked alike and how it would be any guy's fantasy to watch us do it. My cousin was super uncomfortable uncomfortable. So I asked him to stop doing that. Part 2 is that he feels like he can do certain things in front of me. For example, like flirting with other women in front of me. While we were having dinner with my cousin who was visiting, he kept making comments about how hot she was and how her and I look exactly like twins. My cousin was clearly super uncomfortable, so I asked him to stop, which he did. That's when my boyfriend dragged me into our bedroom and asked me if he could do it with her. I said absolutely not. One of the rules in our open relationship is that we can't choose anybody we already know. He told me that he technically did not know my cousin. I told him family was off limits. He asked me to think about it. I drove my cousin home and that's when she told me that my boyfriend was really hot. And I was shocked. I thought she was uncomfortable at dinner. I pulled the car over and asked her if she was interested in him. That's when she said she overheard our conversation. Yep, she heard when my boyfriend was asking me if he could do it with her. She started to laugh and told me that it was okay, and that she wouldn't tell my parents. Then she told me that an open relationship is always a bad idea, and that nothing good will come of it. I asked her again if she was interested in him, and she said maybe. She says, you should just let us do it. I looked over at her and I said, are you crazy? And she said, if you guys already have an open relationship, what's the difference? I told her I wasn't going to be comfortable with her and my boyfriend doing it, and that she needed to get that idea out of her head. Then she started trying to do reverse psychology on me. She said if I didn't let them do it, that he was going to eventually resent me, and that he would see me as the bad guy, and that he'd probably start looking for other girls. I could not believe that my own cousin was trying to do that to me. I started to cry and I asked her if she loved me at all. She then hugged me and says, of course I love you. This is the best thing for your relationship. Part of me started to actually believe what she was saying. I thought maybe he will resent me if I don't let them do it. After that, I didn't talk to my cousin for a few days. During that time, all my boyfriend did was ask me if he could see her again. I made the mistake of telling him that my cousin was down, and then he started pushing even more. He promised me he would only do it with her once, and that nothing would change between him and I. Here's the other thing. There's a guy who's always asked me out on dates, but I always say no. He contacted me and told me that he was finally single and that he really wants to see me. I told my boyfriend that if he was going to do it with my cousin, then I could do it with this guy. That's when my boyfriend said no because I had feelings for this guy. He's arguing that he has no feelings for my cousin, and that if I do it with this other guy, it would be like cheating because I do have feelings for him, which is true. I don't know what to do, and I am so confused. I could just go behind my boyfriend's back, but part of me feels guilty. What should I do?
Am I the asshole for sitting back and doing nothing when my mom told my wife that she'd take us to court for grandparent rights? My wife Liz and I have been married for 7 years and we have preschool age kids. Because we live in the same city as my parents, my mom would take the kids while my wife and I work. Well, Liz makes way more money and she got an even better job opportunity that is requiring us to move to another city. I agree, but once my family heard, hell broke loose. Sunday, Mom and Liz got into a huge fight because Liz told Mom we'll move away and hire a babysitter for the kids so she's no longer needed. Mom said she doesn't want her kids moving away and even said we should let the kids live at her house while we move. Liz laughed at her and my mom lost it. My mom said Liz was an ungrateful witch and that her grandkids moving will only happen over her dead body. Liz told my mom to butt out of private matters that don't concern her and said that she had no right to decide things. Mom said she knows her rights and will be taking us to court to ensure she gets to see her grandkids. Liz told me to check my mom, but I told her she was being unfair to her and that Mom had to feel upset because she'll no longer be able to see her grandchildren. I told Liz she was a bit selfish to not consider my mom's feelings and her crucial presence in the kid's life first. She said she couldn't believe I didn't defend her even after her mom threatened court. But my mom was upset.
Am I the a-hole for telling my son that if he doesn't want to work, he doesn't get the benefits of my labor? My son, 21 male, dropped out of college at the end of his last semester in December. His grades had been failing for almost a year and a half, so it was pretty much either drop out or get kicked out. My wife and I had paid for his first 2 years completely and given him extra spending money each month so that he could concentrate on school instead of having to work. We also made him sign up with a school counselor and got him a therapist about 18 months ago because we were worried his mental health could be a contributing factor. We later found out that he had been skipping counseling and therapy sessions and skipping a lot of classes. We had a conversation about it with him, and he went on a rant about how he doesn't want to spend 40 to 50 years of his life toiling away at some job he doesn't like in order to make some boss more money. He said that work is just a social construct designed to keep the masses down, and that humans aren't designed to sit in a cubicle for 40 hours a week then die. When my son told my wife and I that he dropped out, my wife immediately allowed him to come back home. That was about 3 months ago. Since then, all he does is sit on his computer. He's maybe left the house a dozen times. He refuses to get a job and tells us that his plan is to live the van life. I worked a union blue-collar job for years to support my family, and I'll be damned if I'm going to let my son crap all over my hard work. A couple weeks ago, I got home from work exhausted and he made a remark about me breaking my back for the man. I told him that my job gave him the opportunity to go to college, and he chose to squander it. It turned into a fight where I let out a lot of frustration on him. I told him he either gets a job or he no longer gets to take advantage of my hard work since he seems to think so little of it. I told him I would remove him from our family phone plan, cancel our internet, no longer let him eat our food, and give him a tent so that he can sleep in the backyard. He yelled at me that I'm being an a-hole, and that those are basic human necessities, and I can't deprive him of those. I told him that if he needs those things, then he can freaking work for them like the rest of us, or go find a van and get out. He hasn't spoken to me since, but my wife says I was too hard on him and that this transition has obviously been difficult for him. I told her I am tired of coddling him, and I will not allow him to blatantly disrespect me in my own house, while also taking advantage of all the things I have worked hard to give him. Now, my wife is upset with me too, because she thinks I'm being unreasonable to expect our son to at least do something with his life, to contribute if he is going to stay with us. At this point, I don't care if he lives in the backyard and makes a little garden back there to grow his own food. At least that would show some initiative on his part. Am I the a-hole for thinking my daughter shouldn't pay rent? I have been a stay-at-home mom my whole marriage. My husband pays the bills. I keep house and raise my little ones. I also do things like money management and our taxes because I have an accounting degree. My oldest daughter calls me because she just recently moved in with her fiancé, and he told her she has to pay half of rent and utilities. He makes a lot more than her because she's working part-time, so she has time to plan her dream wedding. Both his parents work, and I know his mom makes more than his dad. My daughter is Sarah, 24, and I was thrown back when she realized she had to split all of the bills in the marriage and pay for things like her wedding dress. It's put a damper in our wedding planning. I tried talking to her fiancé, Luke, 32, saying his family situation was unique since his mom was making more. He rebuffed me, saying it's unrealistic to think he would work, and Sarah could just spend all of her free time wedding planning. He said she has a degree, and she should get a full-time job. Sarah and him both went to school for accounting, and that's how he met her, was at her internship. He works about 60 hours a week, and I explained that with wedding planning, asking her to work that much is way too much on a girl her age. His mother is feeding him the new wave feminism, and I don't think it's a good life balance for this young couple. His mom is feeding my daughter that in this world, you have to work hard and have tough love for your kids. Sarah called crying because her mother-in-law yelled at her for being a gold digger, and Sarah has moved back in with her best friend. My daughter is saying I gave her bad advice and now Luke wants to call off the wedding and wants his ring back. She's blaming it on me, but I think Luke shouldn't have asked my daughter to pay half of his bills on top of wedding planning.
Am I the butthole for blowing up on my husband in front of his family during the New Year's Eve celebration after he joked about my birth experience? I'm a 25-year-old woman and I gave birth to my daughter weeks ago. My experience was pretty traumatic, and since it was my first, I had no clue what to expect. Forgive me for giving vague details for privacy concern, but I'll mention all the relevant stuff, I promise. When I went into labor, I had the most difficult time of my life. I was in pain for hours. My mom was with me, but she had to go and my husband was with me the entire time. I did do something embarrassing in the delivery room. I pooped myself, which was unexpected and just, I don't know. But it was embarrassing, and although my medical team were very professional about it, my husband couldn't help himself and started laughing about it later. And he even told my family about it, but they didn't react. They just didn't find it funny, and neither did I, in fact. I found it embarrassing, and I already told him to stop bringing it up, especially when he started joking about getting me diapers for my oopsies. It got really tiring, and it chipped away at my self-esteem and confidence. We were with his parents celebrating New Year's Eve together when I excused myself to the bathroom. While I was getting up, he made a quick remark and said, "Oh yeah, you should go quickly because we don't want any accidents like the one we had at the hospital, you know what I mean?" Then he winked at me. His family actually laughed, and my brother-in-law commented, "Good one." I was astonished and so angry and ashamed. I literally just lost it on him and yelled at the top of my lungs, calling him a cruel, insensitive jerk to be using the difficult experience of birthing his child as a joking matter and humiliating me in front of everybody. He was shocked, staring back at me and not saying a word. Everyone went silent, and I just stormed off to the bathroom until we left. When we left, he snapped, saying that I messed up by talking to him like that in front of his family during dinner. I said that I couldn't hold my tongue for that long, and after he kept joking about an embarrassing thing when I told him to stop. He said that he was just joking and that I went overboard with my reaction. And also, I should have just sucked it up and waited till we got home so we could address this privately. And then I could even yell at him for as long as I wanted. We argued about it after we got home, and he kept saying that I humiliated him in front of his family during the celebratory evening by being petty and trying to one-up him. He even said that I should have laughed along and not fly off the handle like that. Did I overreact? Am I the butthole for yelling at my obsessed wife? Hi there, I'm currently typing this from my car after my wife told me that she doesn't want me near her right now. I'm hoping this thread will be a wake-up call to her. My wife, who's 33, is a huge nerd, which I normally appreciate. But today, she's taking things way too far. She took today off work so she could be up at 4 a.m. to play her online game at launch. I didn't wake up until about an hour ago, 10:30, and she was still playing. I mentioned that I was hungry, hoping we could make breakfast together, which we like to do together. She instead said that I should order us something from DoorDash, and she's in the middle of a dungeon, so she may be a while. I didn't really want to get takeout because we'd already discussed ordering pizza tonight for dinner, and that's a lot of takeout food for one day. I calmly explained this, and she got pissed and shrieked at me that she just wanted one weekend to focus on her video game. I said that it was unfair to our family for her to isolate all weekend, and she got even more mad, telling me that I have two hands and I can be the cat myself. I was in tears at this point, and I did raise my voice and said that I was worried that she's obsessed with this game and maybe she needs professional help. She threw her car keys at me and told me to get out of her face, that she works all the time and she doesn't ask for much, and that I need to leave her be and just get out of her face for a few hours. I'm truly concerned that she's become obsessed with this online game, and I'm hoping that maybe reading this thread will wake her up to it, but I might have been the butthole too. Am I the butthole for telling my daughter to get over herself? I was blessed with 3 beautiful children, and unfortunately, my oldest, Brooke, passed away when she was 5. It rocked my world, and I know that I haven't been the same since. I went through therapy and I still attend therapy to this day, but a part of me died too. I will never let my daughter be forgotten. I bring pictures of her to events such as holiday celebrations and birthdays. I talk about her all the time. Every year, on my living children's birthdays, I think of her and how her younger siblings are now older than her. My daughter, Marnie, is getting married next month. I asked her if she was having a memorial table, and she said no. I asked her to set aside a seat for her sister who passed because she should still be a part of the day. Marnie told me no, that for once she wants a day about her. She says that she's never had one event that wasn't about Brooke. Even at Marnie's graduation, I had put a picture of Brooke on a seat. She said that I need to stop making my grief front stage. I told her that she was being incredibly selfish, and until she goes through a loss like this, she'll never understand. Marnie asked me if her kids would have to live under the shadow of Brooke too. I told her she should be ashamed and to get over herself. My son says that I'm being terrible and I need to reevaluate my life. Am I the butthole?
Am I the a-hole for calling out my husband's favoritism? My husband Tom, 37 male, and I, 33 female, have been married for 7 years, and we have 2 kids. Sammy, 3, Nora, 5. He was married before me, and had a son, Teddy, who passed on from chronic illness at 4. So far, our family has been pretty stable, meaning no fights or disagreements. Though I have complaints about some things Tom does. This might sound insensitive, but it treats Teddy different than our kids. Like he has a ton of framed pictures of Teddy on his office wall and desk, but none for our kids. He also has pillows and blankets with Teddy's name on them while not doing the same for Sammy and Nora. His argument was that this is his only way of showing love and remembering Teddy since he can't see or touch him. Well, Sammy and Nora are here and he shows them affection in a physical form like doing bonding activities and such. We kind of moved on from this issue until I accidentally came across a whole journal he has that was dedicated to Teddy. I'd read some of what was written, and it had details of some moments in Teddy's life. I felt sad for 2 reasons. 1, because of how much heartache Tom had experienced, and 2, the fact that he never thought of writing about his special moments with Sammy and Nora. I gently brought it up to him, and he got upset and tried to say the same thing about how he adores all 3 children, but in different ways. I said it still hurts because while Sammy and Nora are still young, what if they come across something like that when they're older and realize that dad didn't love them as much as his eldest kid? I said this reek of favoritism. But he said we weren't even having this conversation, nor should I have called him out on his alleged favoritism after I disrespected his privacy and read his private thoughts. I argued that it is what it is, and he should start considering including the kids now and not wait till they're, God forbid, gone to show them love. He said I should be ashamed of myself for implying he doesn't love his young children and for making him guilty only because he suffered a tragedy and was finally at peace with it. I said I was sorry he felt this way, but he told me to stop talking and leave the room. I walked out and he started crying. The kids then entered the room and started comforting him. So far, we haven't been on good terms. I keep trying to stay calm and collected, but he's being cold towards me, making me feel like I'm at fault here. I want to know if I am the a-hole.
Am I the butthole for serving my husband's parents pizza on Christmas dinner when they showed up unexpectedly? I'm a 33-year-old female nurse, and I've been crazy busy lately. So busy that I would have to spend 2 consecutive days at the hospital. I covered shifts during weekends and holidays for this year. We're not doing well financially, and I've only been working for a few months, and we have debts to pay. I'm exhausted all the time. I don't get to sleep much. My husband's parents are aware of my work nature, but they still act upset that I didn't go shop for their gifts earlier. They did receive gifts from me, and I made sure everyone was happy. My husband told me that his mom wanted to bring the family and celebrate Christmas at our house. I politely declined and explained that I can't be serving 10 plus people when I'm committed to a very demanding, very strict schedule. My mother-in-law is still pissed at me for this and told the family that I was using my job as an excuse since she obviously can't cook a decent meal, let alone host a celebration. I really thought they would just get another family member to host Christmas dinner. Christmas Day at 2 p.m., I got off work and went home, feeling exhausted, and I could barely take a shower. My husband didn't leave the house, and when I asked him about whether his family invited him for dinner, he said no because I ruined it when I refused to let them come. I knew he was trying to start an argument, so I just left it at that. At 6 p.m., our doorbell rang, and I saw his mom and dad walking in. I greeted them and brought them coffee and biscuits. They said they came to give us our gifts on behalf of the family, and they stayed for over 2 hours. His mom started giving me looks, asking when she and her husband were going to eat dinner. I got up and decided to reheat the pizza we had from the night before, and when his mom saw it, she stared at me and asked if I was serious. She asked, "Where's my Christmas dinner?" and was stunned that I didn't cook for the occasion. I told her that I didn't cook because I wasn't expecting anyone to be invited to the house. She got upset and said that I should have cooked for the occasion regardless of whether we had guests or not because she said it's part of the celebration, and talked about how every home had a Christmas feast. She said that I had no etiquette and that I was clearly starving her son by not cooking on holidays. I got into an argument with her while my husband and his dad sat there watching. She called me disrespectful and to stop using my job as an excuse for my lack of function as a wife. Then they left. My husband said that I should have taken a few days off and hosted dinner, completely ignoring that his mom made a big deal out of it. My mother-in-law is all over social media talking about me serving her pizza instead of a real Christmas dinner.
So this story is about when Crazy first got out and how me fucked up, y'all. Y'all ever dealt with somebody and you've been just getting all the jail talk and you just falling for everything? That was me. So I fell for every single fucking thing, y'all. All the goodies, all that. But as y'all, if y'all fuck with me and y'all remember my story times, y'all gonna remember where it's gonna be like, hold on, how you fought for all that shit but you said you had a summer love affair when Crazy was in jail? Let's not even go there. Don't go there with me, because that's another story time that's gonna come eventually. So anyway, yeah. So let's go ahead and get into this. So yeah, around that time, it was about that time when Crazy was about to come home, and let me tell y'all, the whole time Crazy was in jail, it was like peace, love, everything was just perfect. Like, whole different person. Like I said, I felt like he was taking pills in there because he was real cool, real nice. Everything was just perfect, real cool. The person I fell in love with, that was who he was, right? So it was coming down to him about to get out, and I remember he told me, like, am I gonna pick him up? So I was like, okay, cool. So y'all, at this time I didn't have no car, so I had gave my mom some money to give me a rent-a-car. So she got me the rent-a-car, y'all. I got Crazy an outfit, and I had sent it before. Yeah, I had sent it before, He got out, so he had his outfit, had a little Nike outfit with some fresh Air Force Ones on. You know, that's what he wanted to come on to, whatever. So whatever, y'all. So let's just fast forward to the day to pick up. So the day when I went to go pick Crazy up, come outside, fresh fit, you know, boom, boom, boom. So I pick him up. He like, I want to get my hair cut. He had all this stuff that we were supposed to do for the day and stuff. Of course, he was gonna do whatever. So I knew, of course, I'm like, Crazy got kids, so of course you come home, you're gonna want to see your kids. If I deal with you and you got kids, I'm gonna want you to be in your kids' life. Put your kids before me, period. Because if you don't, I'm out. So yeah, so anyway, so I just already knew it was a whole bunch of stuff that Crazy was gonna want to do. So I wasn't really tripping about that, y'all. So I'm like, okay, as long as at the end of the night we link back up, because I had got a room, we'll get there. So yeah, so anyway, he was like, he wants to get a haircut. So he made it seem like he wants to spend this whole day with me, like, come with me to get my haircut, come with me to do this, come with me to do this. But I'm just like, okay, you know. So I'm taking him around because he didn't have no car at the time or whatever like that. So we driving or whatever. We went by his barber. He got him his nice cut or whatever case may be. And yeah, so when we was out and about, we just so happened his barber was in his hood. So we ran into his homies, which is homies I know too, because like I said, like I knew these people before I knew him. So we ran into him. They like, oh, bro, you out? Crazy, you out? He just like, yeah, woo, 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 you know, all that bullshit. So they like, oh, what you finna get into? Da 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 da. This, that, and that. You trying to make some money and all this other bullshit, whatever. So Crazy like, okay, I'm finna do this, that, and the third. Mind you, at first Crazy wanted to spend the whole day with me, wanted me to do all this stuff with him, blah blah blah. So then we driving around and we went by his mom's house and he just told me like, oh, I'm finna go make this move real quick. And yeah, we could link up later. So at this point, I'm not even really tripping, you know. I wasn't tripping because of whatever, but I didn't even think of nothing like that, you know. So I'm just like, whatever. So I went home. Crazy had the nerve, before I went home though, because I was at his mom's house, before I went home, Crazy had the nerve to go say, can I keep the car? Bitch, what? No, this is a rental and it's in my mom's name, not in my name, because at that time, of course, I'm over the age, you know. But y'all know, if you're not 25 or something like that, rentals is expensive, is more or some shit like that. It was something. I wasn't of the age where rentals was normal price, like, you know. So that's why my mom got it for me. So I'm just like, bitch, please, you know, like, I ain't figure all the shit that happened before you went, you dumb bitch. No, but I'm just like, I ain't figure all that shit. So oh, the fuck. So that was a little disagreement, but it was like whatever. So the day went by. I'm not really even tripping, you know. Like, y'all, at this point it's getting close to like nighttime, so I'm thinking like, bro, what the fuck? Because like I said, I had got this nice ass room, jacuzzi suite. Shit was like $200 a night. It was a little ways away. Like, it wasn't in LA, it was a little ways away or whatever. Not too far, but it was nice. I think it was like in Anaheim or something like that. So y'all, I'm just irritated because I'm like, what the fuck? Because Crazy was like, I'm gonna give me a phone today and I'm gonna da 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 da. So mind you, it's around like nighttime. I'm not trying to hit up nobody's mom or nothing like that, cause I know you're not your mom's house no more. I'm not trying to have to reach out to people to reach out to you, but it's just like, so you gonna call me with that new number yet? Like, imagine if I'd have left bro with the rental. Like, anyway, so around this time it's probably like 8 o'clock. We left each other probably around like 2 p.m. So because I picked him up early or whatever. So I'm just like, around this time it's like 8. You should have been had your phone. You should have been texting me with that new number. You should have been. Anyway, I didn't ever get that text. So it's around like 8 p.m. or whatever like that. So I'm just sitting around like, okay, what the fuck? So guess what happened? So around 9-ish, Crazy hit me up like, you ready? So I already knew who it was. So I'm just like, okay, so where you at? Like, I'm gonna come pick you up, whatever. So I went and picked him up, whatever. So we drove to the room, whatever. So we talking. I'm just like, what you was doing? Like, da 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 da. He like, oh, I was with my kids. I was with them. You know, I just got caught up. I took them to Chuck E. Cheese or some bullshit. He lied and said that he did because he didn't do none of that shit. But anyway, so, and I'm going to tell y'all how I know he didn't do that, how I found out. So anyway, he like, yeah, I took them here. I did this. I was with my auntie. I was with these people, that. And he was just like, oh, and I get a car tomorrow. So at this point, when he said he get a car tomorrow, I'm thinking like, bro, was you on bullshit, bro? You just got out of jail. Like, you know, come on now. But I did remember he did say somebody had a car lined up for him or whatever the case may be. So we go to the room, y'all, and I'm gonna insert a photo right there, emoji over the photo. So it was in the room. It had a jacuzzi and all that. So in the room, it was amazing. Everything was cool. We didn't get into it. Everything was cool, right? So boom, let's fast forward to the next day. I know y'all probably thinking like, bitch, you said first day out. Okay, I lied. So anyway, it was second day where the shit went down. So second day out, y'all, it was time to check out the room. We checked out or whatever, and Crazy was just like, I got some stuff to handle, so we're gonna link back up. So I'm like, oh, you sure? Because he already was telling me that his kids, because it was like, he probably got it on a Thursday or something like that, and Friday. So he was like, my kids don't gotta go to school, so they're gonna spend the weekend with me, da 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 da. So I was already assuming that his kids was gonna be with him. So I was really just like, you know, I'll catch you on the back burner, like, you know, you're gonna be with your kids. I'm not trying to be like all up in your face, you know, be a dad. So he was just telling me like, what he say to me, he was just like, oh no, it's cool, like I want you to be there too, be there, like let's have a movie night, go get this, go get these snacks, let's do it, like let's really decorate, let's really make it nice. So I'm just like, okay, like all right, we can have a movie night with the kids, like, you know, I'm not really even tripping because I'm not trying to be nobody's stepmama, nothing like that. Like, I mean, if it came to the point to where I am this kid's stepmom, like I wouldn't have an issue with it. But however, just the situation that we was in and how everything was going down, and just I'll get to that later. But y'all, it just, I'm not pressed, but you know, if I'm dealing with somebody with kids and if the mother is okay with me being in the child's life, then I won't have an issue with being in the child's life, you know. Like, I love kids, like, you know, I plan on having kids one day myself. I'm not trying to come in to be nobody's kid. I just want to make that clear, because for some reason bitches really thought I really want to take their child and be their mama, and it was just like, girl, no, that's not the case. But anyway, so I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. So we're gonna have a movie night. You know, that sound cool. Like, you know, that sound cool. So it was just like, he was like, but don't get it twisted. I'm gonna see you before at nighttime or whatever like that. So he just like, we gonna have a movie night. You trying to have it at your house, or you wanna have it like where I stay at? So I'm just like, no, we could have it where you stay at. Cause again, I'm like, did you know, like, fuck, I'm gonna get there too, cause it's a situation. But anyway, he just like, okay, we're gonna have it at my house. So boom, we had it already settled down that we was gonna meet later or whatever like that. So the whole day went by, he checking in like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this, you know, just checking in regularly. Like, he just really being cool. So everything was cool, right? So y'all, mind you, when we was in the room, it's more pictures, more videos, but I'm just not gonna upload those. I'm gonna just show y'all that one picture, whatever picture that is, because I was in my Snapchat memory and I seen the picture. So whatever picture y'all just seen right there, that's the picture. But I was posting all this shit on Snap, I was posting on my Instagram story, whatever. So my homegirl ended up hitting me up, and she just like, hey girl, what's up? Like, oh my god, da 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 home, oh my god, I know you so happy. So I'm just like, yeah bitch, da 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 da. She's like, crazy home, da da, right? So I'm like, yeah, I'm happy, you know, that and the third. So she just like, oh, okay, yeah, so this, whatever. So probably like 30 minutes went by, she hit me up and said, bitch, what the fuck? So I said, what? She was like, is you with Crazy right now? I said, no. She gonna say, bitch, can I call you? I said, yeah, call me. And she gonna say, hold on, wait, I'm at work, so I can't call you right now, but I'm gonna call you in a little bit. But she was like, do you know who, we're gonna get a girl named Dusty, we're gonna call her Dusty. So she was like, do you know who Dusty is? So she said the username, Dusty's username, like Snapchat. I said, no. And then she said on Instagram, like her Instagram name. I said, you know what, that person do be like replying to my story and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know who she is. I'm like, she followed me. I sent her a follow back and she never accepted. Just the request just sitting there, her page was perfect. So she said, bitch, why the fuck Dusty just posted a video on Snapchat with her and Crazy and they in the car? She was like, hold on, I don't give a fuck, I'm finna screen record. And y'all know Snapchat is a snitch. Snapchat is gonna tell you somebody screen record or screenshot, whatever the Snapchat is gonna tell. So she was like, I don't give a fuck, I'm finna show you, I'll just show you this shit. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I said, yeah, send that shit. So she sent it to me. The next thing you know, we on the phone. She was able to call me. I said, bitch, what the fuck? Who is this girl? Like, who is this? I'm like, because I noticed like she did come like out of the blue, like probably like a month ago or whatever. I'm like, but I don't really pay shit no mind like that. Like, you know, if they replying to my story and doing hard eyes and shit, I'm not gonna think you just some weird bitch. But clearly Dusty was a weird bitch. So she was just like, yeah, so she hit you, like she was just like, yeah, she posted this, whatever. So it was a video of them in the car. It was like in the back seat or whatever like that. And it was just like she sitting in the seat, she smiling, the music playing and shit, and he like leaned over on her, like, you know. So I'm just like, yo. So I text him, I said, bitch, you got me fucked up. That was the text I sent him. At this point, it's no sympathy, it's no, oh my god, is this you, Crazy? What's going on? No, it's none of that. I'm hot. So I said, bitch, you got me fucked up. And I was just like, I'm done, like, you're a weird ass bitch, da 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 da, like, I'm going off. So he like, what did you talking about? Mind you, texting. If you is innocent, if you not doing nothing and your girl send you a text message cussing you out, you are gonna call her. You're not gonna be texting her unless you can't call because you're with somebody. proved my point. So he just like texted me like, what is you talking about? So I tried to call him, he didn't answer the phone. So I said, bitch, prove my point. And I sent him the video, said, you're a weird ass bitch. And y'all ever catch your man's doing some shit and the bitch is just the most dustiest, dirtiest, bummiest bitch? Y'all, let me tell y'all, I'm not even no hater. If I catch, because I've been in situations, of course, with niggas doing dumb dog shit, and if a nigga fuck with a bitch and she's pretty, I'm not even gonna try to front and say the bitch is ugly. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, she ugly because my man's is checking her out or my man's is cheating on me with her. Like, I ain't even gonna lie. Like, if she's a pretty female, she on her shit, whatever the case may be, then damn, that nigga like bosses because baby girl, you know. But this bitch was a bum. She was a bum. She was a bum. Okay, I had to just say it that many times because she was dusty as fuck. Like, you ever just see and you look at your man and you be like, I'm not your type, bro. I'm not your type, because it ain't no way, ain't no motherfucking way you like me and you like her. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And that's how I was, just looking like I was disgusted, because I'm just like, are you on drugs or something? Like, what? Yeah, clearly off his fucking prison drugs, y'all. So I'm just like, bro, out of all the bitches you could have displayed me over, even though he played me over plenty of bitches, but whoa, y'all. So I'm just like, y'all, I was hot. So I'm just so fucking mad, and he not answering the phone. So I'm just like, oh, this bitch got me fucked up. So at this point, I'm mad, I'm hot, I'm heated, because I know I had my summer love affair. I shouldn't even be tripping, but that ended a month prior. So at this point, I'm mad, okay? And I had every right to be mad, and I'll probably tell stories that lead up to that. When I tell my look, y'all see. So I was just I was hot. Like, I'm just like, oh, you got me fucked up. Like, I done rented this whole room. I'm buying snacks for you and your kids to do this movie night. Like, I'm over here giving us another chance, even after I shouldn't give us another chance, and all this crazy shit. Like, I'm just, y'all, like, so I was fucking devastated. Like, my heart was broke. So I'm over here like, what the fuck, he not answering. I'm calling. My homegirl just like, girl, I don't really know her, but I know these people know her, So since he not answering the phone, I hit her up on Instagram, and mind you, she never accepted my request. So when I hit her up on Instagram, I was just like, bitch, where you and that weird ass nigga at? I need a fade. Y'all, I know I shouldn't be mad at her, I should be mad at him. But this time I was, y'all, like I say, y'all now know that I'm not 19 through 23, because y'all be like, y'all always like, dang, you 27. Yes, I'm 27. So as y'all can see, I went through a lot of stuff in my early 20s, 19, 18, shit like that. So I have a different mindset now. But back then, oh, I want to fight. Like, I'm hot, you know, and it's whatever, I don't care. So y'all, I'm mad as fuck. So I hit her up like, you know, like, I need a favor, whatever. So she, at this point, the bitch accepted my friend request. Y'all, I went and viewed her story. She got the video on her story. So I'm just like, yo. So I'm on her page, I'm looking like, who the fuck is this bitch? Y'all, like, I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't know this girl from a can of paint, but I go to our DMs. The DMs is her replying hard eyes to my shit, her kissy faces, her this, that, and the third. So it's like, bitch, you're weird. Like, you're weird. You know who I am, I don't know who you are, and you never approved it because clearly you probably was posting this nigga or whatever the case may be. So I was just hot. Like, he not answering the phone. Then he gonna hit me up after I hit her up, because she didn't even say nothing back to me. She just was left it on scene. So after I hit after I hit her up, he hit me up, and he was just like, oh, why are you hitting up bitches? I'm not with bitches, I promise you. I'm with my dad. I'm just not trying to answer the phone right now because I'm about to get this job, and a whole lot of bullshit that this nigga just said to me. So I'm just like, bro, like, ain't nobody fucking stupid. So I was just like, bitch, I'm done with you. Like, you know, I'm done. And as y'all can see, look at this ugly ass tattoo right here, y'all. This used to be Crazy's name. It was right here. Hold on. It was right here. And well, I know you're probably thinking like, how did this ugly shit come into place? So after this day, y'all, I was so hot, couldn't reach, couldn't nothing. Hit the tattoo man up like, I need a cover up, freestyle on me. And don't ever ask people to freestyle, y'all. Depends on the tattoo artist. Gotta cover up the cover up eventually, but we'll get there. So anyway, yeah, so I was hot. So I'm so fucking mad. I'm saying shit to this bitch. I'm getting real disrespectful to her because I really wanted this bitch to fight me. Like, I wanted to say some shit to her to really, I ain't even finna go there, but I really was saying some shit to her to where if anybody said that shit to me, I don't give a fuck. I'm finna fight you because you're not finna be talking to me like that. Like, the shit that I was saying, I was going off. And I kind of do, I regret that. I'm not gonna say I kind of do, I do regret it, because it wasn't worth it over no nigga. But y'all, so this bitch, so she ended up hitting me back, and she was just like, oh bitch, like that, da da da, here's the address. So she had told me to meet her on like Broadway and 80th or something like that. So y'all, I'm in the car, pull up. Where you at? Y'all, you think she put up? I mean, think she came outside? No. Bitch kept giving me addresses after addresses after addresses after addresses. I'm pulling up to each one. It probably was like 3. Don't think I'm just that thirsty. And I'm by myself, y'all. I'm by myself. She gave me like 3 different addresses. I'm pulling up to each one. This bitch not at none of them. She just playing games with me. So eventually he ended up calling me, y'all. He called me and he just whispering. So at this point I'm thinking, oh, he with the bitch. So I'm trying to pay attention to background noise. It's like trying to figure out where y'all at, because I'm pulling the fuck up. So I'm just like, bitch, you got me fucked up, da 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 da. I'm like, where you at? Where you at? He acted, oh, I can't, not right now. We still gonna leave later. We still have our movie night, but not right now. Like, I'm with my family. So y'all know that noise that the fucking what's that thing, the smoke detector make when it needs new batteries? They need a new battery. So I knew that noise, right? So when it made that noise, I knew he was at home. So I heard it, and I got quiet. Then I didn't say nothing. I just try to play it off real quick, because I'm like, I remember I used to always say something about it, like, y'all need to change y'all batteries. So I'm like, I didn't want him to notice that I noticed the noise. So when I'm hearing the noise, that bingo, I'm pulling up. Oh, I pulled up to the house, y'all. I don't know if he must have known or what, because when I got there, he was not there. But mind y'all, he had just got a new car that day. This second day out, he had just got his new car. I don't know what type of car he had. So, but he wasn't there. It was no car in the driveway unless he parked on the street. But he wouldn't have did that. He would have parked in the driveway. So y'all, I was hot. So I'm saying shit to this bitch. I'm just saying shit to her, whatever. She's not trying to fight. She's not trying to say shit to me. So at this point, he's just being weird. Like, he's really like, oh, babe, this, that, and the third. It's not like that. I'm not with her. That video's old. But, bro, let me tell y'all. When he was in jail, he had got certain tattoos. Like, he had got certain tattoos that I know that you got when you was in jail, because, like, y'all, like, one of the tats, it had something to do with me. So it's like, well, it was like my initials or whatever. So I knew you did not have these tattoos before you went to jail. And it was not even just that tattoo, it was other tattoos. So I seen these tattoos in the video. So it's like, bro, I know this is recent. Stop playing with me, you bald-headed bitch. No, I'm just kidding. He wasn't bald-headed. But it's like, stop playing with me. Stop. You better stop playing with me. Like Summer Walker said, y'all. So I was high. I'm just thinking like, no, this bitch ass nigga's not playing with me. Trying to lie and say this shit is old. So at this point, the bitch is just doing still weird shit. So I'm hitting people up. I'm trying to figure out who know this bitch. I'm asking my homegirl, you know this bitch, you know this bitch. At this point, she talking real crazy to me, and she just like, oh, that's why I been fucking this nigga, da 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 da, this, that, and the third. Like, she was going off like, yeah, bitch, and you this, that, and the third. Mind y'all, when Crazy was in jail, Crazy made sure he was set. Like, when he went to jail, like, because mind y'all, I had went to drop him, oh my bad, I had went to drop him off to jail. So when he went to jail that morning, before we went to go drop him off, like, he went to the police station, he put money on my phone, money on his mom's phone, money on his kid's mom's phone. Like, he did all that shit. He put money on his books. So only thing I did for that man when he was in jail that he ever asked me, like, I would ask, like, do you need money for this, money for that? He'd be like, no, I'm good. Like, because he had his own money. So only thing I ever did was, it was one point when he went to prison, he wanted a cell phone. So he had asked me like, oh, can I go in with his mom, which clearly probably was one of his bitches, and he was just like, can you put money on? But clearly I'm the bitch with the most money, because the phone was $1,000 and I gave $7. So, and he told me it was going 3 ways. So make it make sense. It's 3 people putting it on the phone, I'm putting 7 up. How much these other people putting in? Exactly. So she was just like, oh, you did this, you put money on books. And I'm just thinking like, bitch, what? And I didn't have a problem with putting $700 on his book. I mean, for giving him $700 for the phone, because I mean, after a while I was kind of mad about it, but I ended up getting my money back. He gave me the money back for that when he came home, like, after all the bullshit. But at that time I didn't care. It was like, you my dude, and like, you know, you did shit for me. So I really didn't even really too much cared about that, whatever. It wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't no L for me or whatever. But anyway, she just talking all this shit, y'all. So I really want to fight. So we talking. He ended up hitting me up, and I'm just like, bitch, you're weird. Like, I'm done. I'm about to go get this shit covered up or whatever. So he like, oh, go get it covered. He like, don't. At first he was like, go get it covered. And then he was just like, don't do that. Don't do that. Then I took a picture at the tattoo shop. Girl, y'all, I went that same day. This was a long day for me. On that same day, I went to got this ugly ass shit on my arm. And yeah. So he's hot. He's like, oh, this, you better not be done with me. So he was just like, I'm about to tell you. He was like, I don't fuck with this bitch. I'm gonna tell you where she live at. Like, she's weird. I'm sending messages to him like, oh, she's telling me that y'all together right now. Like, even though he would call me and whisper and shit, like, but she was telling me like, oh, we laid up right now. And clearly she's saying this because she know he probably not answering my phone. But at this point, when he's calling me and whispering, he was just doing that shit to be weird. Because at this point, like, his cousin did post on her story and they was together, and I'm just thinking like, why are you making it seem like you with somebody else when you're not with somebody else? Like, when I tell y'all it's gonna be more stories about Crazy, he was messy as fuck, like messy and weird. Like, you're doing this weird shit for what? So I'm sending her the message. So she's sending me messages making it seem like they together. The whole time I know now y'all not together because yeah. So she sent me that. So I sent it to him and he was just like, I don't fuck with her. So he sent me her address. Y'all, this nigga is messy. Sent me her address and he was just like, I don't fuck with that bitch. If I fucked with her, I wouldn't be telling you where she live at. This is where she live at. She's weird as fuck for that. And when I was in jail, I was just using her and I felt bad. So I just went and linked with her. But it was me and a whole bunch of homies. That's why I was in the back seat and it was nothing like that. I didn't know she was recording. You didn't know she was recording, but you looked right into the camera. Bitch, please. And I'm mad because if my homegirl would never sent that to my phone, I would have still had it and I would have posted it because I don't care. But no, I'm just kidding. I would have covered faces though. Ain't nobody getting clout off me. But anyway, so yeah. So he told me her address. Y'all, it was like a green light, y'all. So I hit her back. I said, is you at home? And I put the address. And she was just like, bitch, you better not come to my fucking house. So I gave her my number because when I'm arguing with people, I can't, if it's that serious to where we're gonna fight, we need to talk on the phone because texting back and forth, I'm too mad. Especially if I'm driving, I can't be just texting you. I can't be paying attention to the phone. So I gave her my number. I'm like, call me, da-da-da-da. She called me. She just talking big shit, y'all, like big shit. And I probably wouldn't have been that mad at her if she wouldn't have been doing all that shit, y'all. So she just talking big shit. She like, I'm not at home, we're bitch, da-da-da-da. But when I get there, you could pull up and I'm gonna be with my homegirls, da-da-da-da. So have a faith for them. I said, I don't give a fuck, I'm by myself. Y'all, I was that mad. I didn't have time to go raggle up some rant. I didn't have time to go do all of that. Like, I'm mad now. And I know y'all probably thinking like, girl, you wasn't still trying to track him down, ask his cousin where he at. No, at this point, I'm just mad at her too. Like, I'm mad at everybody. Like, I'm gonna deal with him later at the movie night. Yeah. So, I'm mad. So she just like, oh, I'm gonna hit you when I'm home. Y'all think she ever went home? Did she ever go home? Did Dusty ever go home? Dusty didn't never go home that night. Anyway, so y'all, anyway, annoying. So y'all, so anyway, so I'm just like whatever. So the next day come and I'm just more a little chill, whatever. Like, I'm just more calmed down. At this point, I really was just telling myself like I'm over the whole situation. So Crazy, y'all remember all the stories that y'all heard about Crazy? This happened first before all that crazy shit happened. The crazy shit happened because after this day, when it got to day 3, y'all, day 3, remember day 1 was cool, day 2 was hectic, day 3, that's when I just realized, Simone, you are better than this. You don't need to do this. You don't deserve this. You need to love yourself. You need to let go. Fuck this, fuck all of that, fuck that. That's when I realized a lot of shit. So day 3 came. That's when I was trying to like convince myself. At this point, I didn't talk to all my friends because that day I was mad. I didn't talk to nobody. I wasn't telling nobody what was going on because I'm too busy going back and forth trying to find people and fight and shit. So I didn't tell nobody. So at this point, I didn't talk to so many people, got so many like so much clarity. Like, it was just different to where I really was just like, I'm done. Like, I'm done. So Crazy was hitting me up. And the night before too, because I didn't show up to movie night, nothing like that. So Crazy hitting me up and I'm just like, you know what, I was done. So that's why y'all probably was wondering like, why all that crazy shit when I said because I didn't want to fuck with him, because I really was done. Like, when I tell y'all I was done, I was done. And I'm gonna tell y'all, because in between me being done, I tried to date other people and they was just dumb. But like, it was the dumbest shit ever, y'all. I'm mad because I really don't even know how long this story is. But, and I feel like I should, I don't know, I'm honestly gonna tell, like, I'm gonna honestly look at this story, and if I feel like it's not long enough or it's not good enough, then I'm gonna re-record it, because I know I've been drinking. Oh, I think it's 26 minutes. Wow, I learned something every day. Yeah, so if I feel like it's not long enough, I am gonna re-record it, but I'm not done yet though. I'm not done. Yeah, so when it came to day 3, y'all, so it was just bad. Like, I really just felt like, you know what, I'm over it, I'm cool, like, I'm not about to keep doing with this shit. So I just was really like, you know what, Crazy, like, I'm good. I don't gotta go through this. You could be with whoever you want to be with. You could be with whoever, y'all. So I'm at this point, I'm at my peace, love, serenity, y'all. I'm at this day. So I'm laying there, I'm ignoring messages, I'm ignoring calls, I'm ignoring every fucking thing. Guess who DMs me, y'all? Bimbo. She DMs me and she was just like, you're thirsty as fuck for posting these old ass fucking pictures and videos, knowing damn well he don't get out until next month. Free babe though, bitch, you're pathetic. You're trying to make it seem like you with him. Y'all doing all of this in the most. And I'm just like, y'all ain't got no time for this. Don't got time. Because mind y'all, when he got out, he lied and told Bimbo that he didn't get out until like, so maybe, I'm going to just guess. So say he got out in February, he told Bimbo he got out in March, like that. But the whole time he got out in February, because I picked him from jail. I'm going to know. Unless, because if he would have got out sooner and just had me meet him at the jail, like, then he's a fucking psychopath. But, you know, nah, he really got February, y'all. So, I'm just like, what? So, I said, bitch, stop fucking hitting my line. Like I said, you're weird. You could have him, whatever I said. But I'm not finna never sit here and post old videos and make it seem like somebody got out when they didn't get out. So I can make it seem like I'm with them. I said, you're weird as fuck. She's like, my friends are sending me videos and you over here lying, making it seem like my man got out. I know he didn't get out. I said, bro. I said that number, it was like a 716 number he had when he was in jail off of the the phone he had. So I said, have you got any calls or texts from that number? She was all like, no, because he got a new number because he didn't want you to know it. That's what he told her. When he got his regular phone, when he got out, he gave her the number and he told her, oh, this was his new number. He changed it. He lied and said because he didn't want me to know it. That's what she said. He said, who knows? Most likely probably did say that shit. So I said, bitch, what? Girl, y'all. So I'm sending I'm sending pictures. So remember I told you I was at the room and Snapchat has dates and all times, all that shit. Sent her the date and time. I said, you're the most weirdest bitch ever. I said, just because a nigga lied and told you he'd get out next month for whatever reason. Why? I said, I ain't the type of bitch that gotta sit here in front and lie and make it seem like any fucking thing. So she was just like, it's cool because I seen your stories because like I said, Summer Love Affair. She was like, I seen your Snapchats when he was gone and you was messing with that blood nigga. I'm Summer Love Affair. She was like, I'm gonna tell him everything. And she was just like, you're weird. You must be really doing this and that for him to something. I don't know what this bitch was trying to get at. Like if I broke him out of jail or some shit a month early. I don't know. This bitch was retarded. At this point, I'm just hot because I'm just like, yo, I tried fighting somebody yesterday. I tried fighting you before. Like, don't got time. So I was just like, yo, I'm irritated. Like, I don't have time for this. Y'all think I had time for it? I don't. So I was so annoyed. I'm just like, bitch, well, you could have him or she could have him. I sent her the video and y'all, she was just like, what the fuck is this? Oh my God, Simone, don't tell me that he's talking to somebody else. Don't tell me he's talking to Dusty again. I guess this was Dusty was somebody he talked to before in the past. She was like, what the fuck? This is not good, Simone. What the fuck? Please don't tell me this is recent. Bitch, we are not friends. This was the part about Bimbo I could not understand. Girl, you don't like me, but when somebody else come in the picture, you think we are friends. We're not friends, bitch. We're not friends. So I said, girl, we are not friends. I said, I don't give a fuck who, you, him, them, her, Dusty, you, whatever. I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, stop. Don't hit my fucking phone no more. I said, I'm good. Y'all could have whatever type of triangle, whatever the fuck. I know y'all probably thinking like, bitch, you was in that triangle at one point. Y'all, so I'm just like, y'all don't hit my phone. So I'm mad. So this time I was gonna say his name crazy is blowing me up. I'm ignoring. It was just a big ass fucking mess, y'all. And as y'all can see it going there, I think I got a list. I made a list of story times that I'm telling y'all, but eventually I am gonna throw in there my Summer Love Affair.
Am I the butthole for using my husband's savings to repurchase the bike that he took from our daughter? My daughter received a bike from her uncle, my brother, on her 11th birthday. She was over the moon and excited to use it because it was on her wish list for so long. Days ago, I discovered that my husband reached out to my brother to ask for the receipt for the bike, and he returned it to the store and kept the money for himself while my daughter was at school. My daughter and I got home, and she started crying after noticing the bike was gone. My husband was home at the time, and he told me that he returned the bike and got money in return to spend on something useful for us. Since the bike was just there as a distraction, and there was no need for it now since we're in the dead of winter. I was aggravated and lost it on him, saying that it wasn't his, it didn't come from him, and he didn't pay for it. So he had no right to touch it, especially knowing our daughter's been waiting for it for a long time, and my brother was decent enough to buy it for her despite barely having money to get him by. I told him that what he did was theft, and I insisted that he hand over the money so I could repurchase it for her. But he said that he spent the money on stuff for the house, and he doesn't have any money left. But I knew about the money that he kept stashed away in the bedroom that he forbade me from touching. So I took some of that money, and I went out to repurchase the bike while he was out the next day. He found out and verbally lashed out at me, saying that I should have never touched the money that he was saving for himself. But I lashed right back, saying that I had to so I could repurchase the bike that he stole from our daughter. He explained that he didn't keep the money for himself, and instead spent the money for necessities for our home. But he was at fault for taking the bike in the first place, and he was responsible for getting it back. He yelled at me for almost 10 minutes, then stormed outside and started smoking. My daughter asked why her dad was upset and said that she no longer wants the bike if dad doesn't want her to have it. But I assured her that's not the case, and I told her she shouldn't feel guilty and to just focus on enjoying her bike. My husband hasn't stopped grilling me about how I disrespected and undermined him, and how I managed to make our daughter hate him after making him look like the bad guy. I again said that he shouldn't have touched the bike. End of story. He called me a thief and a juvenile for taking money from his savings and being sneaky about it. Am I the butthole for the way that I got the bike back?
Hi guys, thank you for watching. I love you guys so much. Please like and subscribe to see more great videos. See you again.